Hey folks, this is Nick from Mossy Creek with this week's fly fishing forecast. Today is Monday, July 8th. I'm standing in front of the truck today because we got another truck event this weekend. This will actually be one of our first stops up in Northern Virginia. We'll be in Alexandria on Saturday at Aslan Beer Company. So we'll have the truck set up about 12 o'clock. We'll be there till 5 or 6 or so. So if you're up in that neck of the woods, come see us. They've got great beer there. There's a lot of space, so we'll be bringing a lot of rods, lines for test casting, trying different lines, trying different rods, that kind of thing. So come on out. As usual, we'll have the truck totally rigged out with lines and flies and all kinds of gear, all the rods and lines and everything you need. We'll be giving free casting lessons, so if you got a buddy that's been wanting to get into it and you didn't want to be the one to teach them, bring them out. Just kind of show them the ropes and get them casting a little bit. It's gonna be a great day all around, so we hope to see you out there. So on to the forecast. It's hot and sunny right now, as it's been for the last couple weeks, but it does look like we're gonna get a little bit of cover from that over the next couple weeks. Wednesday this week, as well as Friday, we're seeing pretty good chances for thunderstorms, and we're gonna just hope that we get a bunch of rain there. We got a good bit of rain at the end of last week, but water levels are already kind of back to where they were. We're in that period of low water where we're going to need, consistent rain showers and storms, a couple inches at a time, to just keep things going and get to a point where it actually affects our water flow. So that was a good start last week, but hopefully we have some more coming. So like I said, keep an eye out for that forecast, because Wednesday and Friday we're looking like some chances of good, thunderstorms throughout the valley. And then next week it looks promising too. It looks like pretty good chances of storms almost every day, a little bit of a cool off and some temperatures. So hopefully we're getting into a little better weather pattern for the fishing and the weather and the rain and stuff that we have coming. So keep an eye on all that. As always, we'll kind of update on water levels and stuff as that changes. For right now, we're still kind of in that same low clear water cycle. So many of you may have heard Shenandoah National Park is closed down to fishing right now. I wanted to take a second and bring that up. We get a lot of calls. I think a lot of people have the misconception that that also includes like the Shenandoah River and just like Shenandoah in general. That is very specific to Shenandoah National Park. That means any streams within the park are closed to fishing, but the Shenandoah River, the South Fork of the Shenandoah, the main stem, all the other stuff, there is no closure there. And especially our warm water rivers like the South Fork of the Shenandoah, the main stem, that have carp and bass and stuff, are fishing super well. That is just a specific closure to the park and some of those brook trout streams. So kind of on that note, it is kind of a picture of what our brook trout fishing looks like right now. There's some streams, especially with good isolated storms, that'll have a little bit better water that you could maybe do a little bit of brook trout fishing, especially earlier on when it's cooler. Our biggest drainages that hold a lot of water are fishable if you want to try it, but it's really tough and kind of marginal right now. So we tend to stick to the spring creeks and our warm water rivers this time of year. But the spring creeks, like I said, they're fishing great. Mossy Creek, Spring Run, South River earlier in the morning. A lot of those places have enough spring influence that the water stays cool even throughout the summer, and we can get some really good fishing. We've been on Mossy a lot lately. Fishing's awesome, especially in the morning, like that 7 to 11 time range, or late in the evening, kind of working around the midday sun is when we've had the most success. We're having great trico hatches in the morning. Beetles are showing up, and we're seeing grasshoppers. So for your beetles, any of your foam beetle patterns are working great. And then the hoppers, we're seeing a lot of like tans and yellows and greens, different smaller hoppers. So typically earlier in the year, we're gonna have more small hoppers. They're gonna get bigger and bigger as we go. So if you're just adding to your box, work on kind of the smaller side of some of those sizes. The Moorish hopper, PMXs, chubbies, any of those patterns, get some variations in the greens, the tans, and the yellows, so that if you change flies, you have something to change to, and stuff changes a little bit. So, tricos in the morning, ants, beetles can also work if those fish are rising to those tricos, if they're up on a rhythm. A lot of times you can catch them with really any small fly. And then throughout the day, if you're not seeing fish rise, fish a hopper dropper or something like that and just cover water, and you'll be surprised, I love this time of year because more so than any other time of year, you have just a great chance of plopping a hopper down and a fish coming out of nowhere and coming and crushing it. So it's a fun time to fish. Take advantage of those cooler trout waters. Early mornings, you can still have some pretty good fishing. Like I said, warm water rivers are fishing great. We're still really low and clear, like below average on the South Fork where we do a lot of our smallmouth fishing, but that means great topwater fishing. The cicadas are singing every morning. That's usually a good sign of our topwater fishing getting better and better through the summer. So cork bugs, poppers, we're doing really well with like foam, damselfly imitations too. Low and clear is a great time for topwater fishing. Longer leaders, covering water, getting to watch them come eat the fly. In the deeper, faster runs, we're still doing well, fishing like critter mites and crayfish patterns and bait fish throughout the day as well. Carp fishing's been great. If you've seen some of our pictures, we've been out doing that. And so, you know, as you're floating these rivers where you can see really well, keep your eyes peeled for feeding carp. Clawdad patterns or just a lot of the crayfish patterns that we fish for smallmouth work very well for that. We do carry some carp specific flies like the carp tickler, the cray cray, May's identity crisis. Some of those flies can be great too if you want a little lighter fly that doesn't, you know, hit the water quite as hard and try not to spook fish. So like I said, pretty similar last couple weeks, but I think we've got water on the way, so keep an eye out. Looks like maybe we'll be in a new pattern. As always, call if you got questions. We hope to see you guys up in Alexandria on Saturday. And if there's anything on the truck that you want to make sure we have, just in case we're not already bringing it, give us a call a few days ahead of time. We're happy to accommodate some of those requests. So we'll see you next week. As always, give us a call or come see us. Thanks.